Thank you. I'm going to make a couple comments because I haven't asked any questions, uh, and that's on purpose. First of all, thank you, Mr. Manager. Thank you, and thank you to the staff. I've said it probably every budget hearing, at least in the last 4 years. We come up with a lot of ideas, and they're good ideas most of the time. But the staff is really where the rubber meets the road. I especially want to say thank you for the staff's support of this manager and of this council, but most importantly, of the residents of Palmetto Bay. I know a couple of folks have alluded having conversations with individuals. We all speak to folks that live in this community every single day. And I think politics as it is can sometimes uh, be heavy on the staff. I know it can be heavy on leadership, administration. Um, I said this many, many times, and I know just in our personal conversations, my mom would always tell me, you don't have any control over other people's actions, only your reaction to those actions. And so I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I think most of my colleagues definitely thank the folks here, the directors, for staying the course because there's really good stuff happening here in the village. And the proof is in your presentations this evening. So I'm extremely, extremely appreciative. I took the opportunity to spend a day just meeting with the directors. I thank you for trusting me to sit with each department on my own and have conversation. It was fun. It was enlightening, and frankly, it was uplifting because I could see the enthusiasm and just the love for the village. And I appreciate that. Actually, had a good time that day, just spending time. Heidi, I'm going to single you out. She's like, "Oh no, please." Well, they've been here for every budget cycle, but and we had some really interesting conversations, which all of us individually with the different departments, and I know I've got communications in the back, and our police officers. I enjoyed meeting with them, but I told the manager after what a great fit for this team for this time to have you join us. You're extremely perceptive, and I really appreciate our conversation. You validated some of my thoughts, which, sometimes, the thoughts just spin around and you think, like, oh, maybe I'm off on this or a little bit off on that. But you were spot on, and you said it tonight. The spinning that we do sometimes as it relates to the work that your department's doing. I like that you've taken that, you've figured out what the issue is, and you've kind of taken the bull by the horns there. So very appreciative of that. I asked each of you two questions when I met with you, even though we had a lot of great dialogue. I asked, are there any needs in your department that you want to see in the budget? I heard most of what we spoke of this evening. And then how are we doing as a council to support your department's work and positive responses all the way around. Dio, I hope that we have kept true to what we said we would do last year, which is giving clear direction. I know it gets a little murky sometimes, as in this water conversation that we had the other evening, but I think at the end of the day, you all have captured the direction of this council through your administrative leadership. So just real quick, I know we had the conversation at the last budget workshop, and there'll be other, and at least one more conversation, public conversation prior to those hearings. I when I met with the police officers, it was the first question I asked, do you need an additional police officer? Or do you just want an additional police officer? I appreciate you including the facts this evening. I think that piece will be very important. I don't know what the possibility is, and something that I was thinking about as we were talking about, like, how will we afford to pay for that number? Um, Maybe there is a thought process of phasing somebody in. That would be less in a year's budget. I'm just mentioning it because I think what I'm, at least in my conversation with the police officers, You all are accomplishing the mission, the police mission, the police department mission. Crime is down, but as we start to build here, how do we fold in to our budget, uh, that additional public safety personnel that we're going to need. I think we've covered some of these sustainability initiatives. I said at the last meeting, I would love to see our visioning session come out as an updated um, strategic plan. We have a strategic plan, but something on a piece of paper that we're able to kind of move forward with. Somewhere in this budget year, I'd love to have the conversation about branding. I mentioned to you, Mr. Manager, driving through our little downtown area several weeks back. I saw the branding on the garbage receptacles that are down here. We have already had it on the lights. I think um, as we start to move forward, maybe not this year, next year, just looking at the longer term picture. Last mile options, my colleagues, a couple of my colleagues yeah, discussed that. I won't go into the streets, but I think you presented the streets that we've talked about so many times, getting that construction now moving from design to construction. Palmetto Bay Park, I know we do a fabulous job of maintenance, but I think it's going to be important. I think Palmetto Bay Park needs a little bit of love. So taking a look at some whatever maintenance is fine, but whatever repairs and upgrades as we start to go into this parks master plan that we want to do at that location. Having the money, obviously, for the Coral Reef Rec Room that was mentioned, street paving was mentioned, sidewalks. You mentioned and so did the director, the back truck personnel, and tree maintenance. So, I mean, overall, and I have to just last thing for you all. I went back to the survey that we did, the community survey, because I think, especially during these sensitive times that we're entering up to November, when you're feeling a little low or a little beat down, hear this: very satisfied and satisfied. Parks, 82% fell under those two categories. Police, 76%. Yeah, they go to the parks. They don't worry about public safety, I guess, as much. But obviously, people are satisfied or very satisfied. Customer service in the village of Palmetto Bay, 62%. That's everybody. That's across the board, including our village manager and charter officers. The building department, 54%, very satisfied or satisfied. And communications, uh, 49%. I got to give you more credit than that because you guys do a tremendous amount of communication. And then I tried to keep everything over 50% where we need to make sure that we are moving the village forward, because this is where people were the least satisfied was in planning for growth of our village. So I heard a lot of that in tonight's conversation from each one of the departments, and I think good things are coming this year. So we've got some great opportunities ahead of us. Is there anything else? Awesome. Yeah. Oh, Vice Mayor.